and gentlemen, and welcome to North Shore Live, Cooper's Corner. We are live. This is October the 17th, 2018. I have to keep telling you, I hope that you are registered to vote, and I hope that you will vote. Whichever way you want to vote, that's your your option. But please register to vote and do vote. Here at the Highland Park Police Department, early voting is October the 22nd. Just come in the door and go to where the sign says voters, and you can vote. So early voting here is October 22nd. Okay, I got that out of the way. And this evening's program, we have Tracy Sefcik. That's it. You got it. You won't believe it, but that's it. This lady is the most daring I have ever known. It says a truck for the troops. Tracy is a Navy veteran, and she comes from New Lenox, Illinois, and she went cross country from San Diego to, is it Orlando, did you go?
St. Augustine, Florida.
St. Augustine, Florida. And I'm going to show you this. I couldn't believe it myself. This is the paper. Wait, that way is better. And you'll be able to see it, wait, it's a little lopsided here. On the bottom, let's see, from here to there. Incredible, incredible. This whole coastline, incredible. And she is a veteran and bicycled alone and for a very worthy cause. And Tracy, let me shake your hand. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
nice to be here.
My delight. Oh, and you need to come back for sure.
Oh, I definitely will.
Without Angela Walker's help, I would have never met this lovely lady. And exciting as this all is, we need to let Tracy tell you about herself and why she's doing this biking. I guess you call it biking, cycling, whatever.
Cycling, biking.
Cycling. But look at all these awards from the state of Illinois, the House of Representatives, from what did they give you? They gave you a...
This one was from Representative Jonathan Carroll.
Jonathan Carroll.
It's a House resolution bill.
Oh, how wonderful.
And for what I have done for Gary Sinise Foundation, I actually raised over $30,000 for his foundation on this bicycle ride here.
And there's another one here from the city of Wheeling?
The city of Wheeling, correct.
Oh, my goodness. Another resolution. Wonderful, wonderful. Tell these people, I mean, you come from a military family. We do as well. Army, Navy, Marines, whatever, Air Force, sorry.
We're all one family.
All one family, okay. So whatever the branch is, but you've got uncles that were in the, military, so.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you get started in this? I mean, what was the incentive to do that?
What was the incentive?
I mean, you liked to bicycle.
First, I liked cycling.
Okay. And you've got a club here. You're
right. I actually did some shorter bicycle rides, then
it's got to be shorter than going 3,000
and then
miles.
They just started getting bigger and bigger. I did some shorter rides, and then I actually did the Ray Brea ride, which is from one side of Iowa to the other side of Iowa. And then I kept telling myself, what can I do next?
A self-starter, I would say.
I'm a type of person that I always push myself.
And did you
the bigger and better things?
Oh, my goodness.
So after the Ray Brea ride, I said, what if I rode from coast to coast? I mean, it couldn't get any bigger than coast to coast. So I actually looked into it, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go coast to coast, and I actually picked San Diego to St. Augustine, Florida. It was the shortest route, and it only had one mountain range.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm like, okay, coast to coast, one mountain range, I've got this.
What a dynamic lady.
So I started doing that, and then I
What do you do to prepare yourself for things like this?
Just start riding my bike 5-6 days in the house, and then on the weekends I'd go out for about 100 miles on the weekends.
Regardless of
for
the
training,
weather?
regardless of the weather, right?
Rain,
snow. I'm out biking through Long Grove, out the Barrington Hills in the snow.
they know who you are coming. Oh my God!
Yes.
Here she comes.
As long as there's no snow on the ground, then I'll bike outside. It's above 20 degrees and no snow.
You're incredible.
Then I'm outside biking. So once I figured I was going to go coast to coast, I turned around and I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it coast to coast, I figured I was going to do it for somebody other than myself.
Okay.
So that's when I called Gary Sinise Foundation up, and I asked if I could do a fundraiser for their foundation. And I told them what I was going to do and if I could do it for them, and they said yes. And I set my goal for $25,000 and started doing a bunch of fundraisers around Wheeling. I was actually at Chicago Auto Show for the week and raised over $11,000 at Chicago Auto Show.
Just there. Oh my.
Chasing basketballs for a week, and ended up for a total for Gary Sinise Foundation $30,680.
And not a penny for you with anything.
Nothing for me out of that for my expenses going across. I actually worked 2 jobs. One job to pay my bills for when I was home, and then one job I take that money and put away to the side to pay for my bills while I was gone, and then also put into the fund to pay my way going across the United States.
Sure,
it was all a self-funded
You
tour.
have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to, wear and tear. What about shoes? What about bike tires? What about...
I did have some places. I had like New Lenox McDonald's. They gave me a $100 gift card. Sonic's in Arlington Heights gave me a $50 gift card. A bunch of local restaurants in the area had given me gift cards for $50 to use along the way. I did have Village Cycle and a couple other the Village bicycle shops support me. I had one that gave me lights for my bike. Village Cycle Sports gave me a couple tires and stuff for my bike to help me get my bike prepared for when I was gone. Stuff like that. So I had like a bunch of people that gave just little things to my bike, but those little things added up at the end.
For sure.
That
sure.
helped me out a lot, trying to cut my expenses down.
This is incredible. This is incredible.
For my expenses going across.
All these news media, all this, the Herald, and this is the New Lenox Patriot for sure. And here's the St. Augustine Record, Coast to Coast Trek Artist Fellow Vets.
Yeah, St. Augustine, but actually when I got to St. Augustine, Florida, I was already emotional that last 4.8 miles. There's actually on my Facebook page and on my website, there's a link to that. But the AMVET riders, they followed me in with 13 motorcycles. And what the St. Johns County Sheriff's Department and the St. Augustine Beach Patrol did was they actually gave me a police escort in. And they actually closed down every street as I was coming through.
Oh my God.
Which made me get a little bit more teary-eyed because I was like, they're closing these streets for me coming through.
For you.
And it was quite an emotional day. My 2 sons were there. My mother was there. My boyfriend was there at the finish and stuff like that. So it's truly
How nice.
remarkable, number one, that I made it. Number two, that there were so many people there at the finish
Oh my
and stuff like
goodness.
that.
Oh my
And
goodness. Here's
stuff like that.
California to Florida. Oh my goodness.
So
Daily
it was quite the journey. I met a lot of amazing people going across the United States that had helped me out throughout my journey.
3,142 miles. Incredible. And you are here. You are here. You are here to tell about it. And you're also here to talk about your November 7th fundraiser.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, what happened was I came home, took a month and a half off, trying to readjust back to life because it was kind of strange, getting up in the morning and I have to get on my bicycle and cycle east anymore. I was done with what I was doing, and
Oh my.
I came home and just started figuring out what was I going to do, and I was on Facebook one day and I was just looking around and found another organization and kind of looked into the organization, and I'm like, okay. And so what I'm doing now is I actually have another bike ride planned for another organization that's coming up. I'm actually going to release it in November. It's actually going to be on November 7th that I'm going to release the information. It's actually the day that my uncle's plane crashed in the Korean War. So it kind of has some special meaning on that day. But I am going to keep the foundation local this time. So it is a foundation out of the state of Illinois.
Okay.
He is a Marine veteran. He is a paralyzed veteran that actually started his own foundation on Kickstarter.
Oh.
So he was born and raised in Illinois, back in Illinois, with his own foundation now.
Okay.
He was actually over in Afghanistan and Iraq. He actually went over there on September 11th and came back now, and he's actually, like I said, a quadriplegic now and has his own foundation. So I'm going to be doing it for his foundation. Some of you might already be trying to figure out who I'm going to be writing for next. I'm going to keep that a secret for a couple more weeks here.
Okay.
But I'm really excited for my next foundation. Great guys. Looking forward to him. My next ride is actually going to take me through, 9 states, 2 countries.
2 countries, really?
Yes. I'll actually let you know it's actually going to be a loop. I'm actually going to be leaving from Lake Forest on the Robert McClory Trail. I'll give you this much information.
Okay.
I'm going to be going up north into the UP, cutting across the UP, going through Michigan, in through Canada, down through Buffalo into New York. I'm actually going to be in New York City on 9/11 for the 20th anniversary.
Wow.
And then I'm going to be cycling back through and ending it in downtown Chicago.
Wow.
So it's going to be about a 2-year fundraising experience, since it's only me trying to raise $50,000.
Wow.
But I can do it.
That's a tall order. You said before that the Gary Sinise Foundation only said, they would settle for 25, and you did more.
Right. I set my goal at $25,000 for Gary Sinise. I raised $30,600.
Incredible.
So.
And is it just everybody, whoever wants to donate, or what?
Yes. My website will go live on the November 7th with the new donation list link to where people can donate. That will actually be up for the 2 years.
Okay.
Or 2.5 years, and actually it'll be up a little bit after my ride, so people can still donate after.
To donate.
But please don't wait; it's all tax deductible.
Okay.
So you can give every year. You can give monthly donations to where you don't really, notice it coming out of your paychecks.
Okay.
That's what I did have a few people on my Gary Sinise one do. $10, $20 a payday.
Sure.
Or a month coming out, and people don't really notice that, that much, but it all adds up at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A little bit. Every
stuff
time,
like that.
Sure.
So, they do take monthly donations to where it all adds up at the end of the year, and you don't notice it as much, and at the end of the year, you're amazed that,
Because, if it's a large amount at one time, for a lot of people, that's pretty hard.
Correct.
So this way, even if it's $10 or $20 a month,
right.
Then that adds up. That's beautiful. That really is beautiful.
Correct. I mean, $10 a month is $120 a year.
And $20 is what?
$220
$240.
Or $220, yes.
$240, yeah. So that's even better yet.
Correct.
And I don't think that would be, too severe, too steep.
Right.
$20 because just consider a pizza night, not having pizza one night and whatever, a month, that's okay. I mean, a lot of us just live on peanut butter and jelly. Hello. So if we have something to do.
Hey, my Easter dinner this last year was a dill pickle, a ham and cheese sandwich that I bought that morning at the gas station, and a glass of tea. And I was on the road.
Gee, you're splurging. Tracy, you are really splurging. Then that's for Easter. I mean, I can imagine what Christmas would have been. It was,
Yeah, there were many days that I had to stop at the gas station on the way out because there was nothing in between point A and point B.
Oh my.
So there's like 75 miles going through Texas that there's nothing in between.
Just you, the road, and God.
And a 35-mile-per-hour side winds coming out of Texas.
Ooh, wow. 35 miles an hour.
Yes. Texas winds are brutal.
I mean, that could blow you over real easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible. Did you do this stuff? Let's try back in your childhood. What did you, were you ever, I'm not going to say a daredevil. You're not an evil Knievel. You're doing this for,
Actually, I did ride my bike down hills.
Did you?
Yeah. Where I grew up, there was only 2 girls and like 6 guys. So.
Do you want to be like the guys? Just gee whiz. Gee whiz, that's incredible. So, in school, did you do anything, gymnastics or something that was incredible that you felt that no one else could accomplish, only you could accomplish?
No, I played softball in school and tennis.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Very boring.
Wow.
I went to Providence High School, very boring.
So, I don't know where this comes out of. Who else in your family is so daring like this? Anyone you know?
No.
A cousin?
No.
Nobody?
Nobody.
A niece? No one that's his
No,
daring?
my family says I'm crazy.
Well, but you accomplish what your goals are. That's not crazy. That's being very meticulous on what you do. That's
right.
Terrific.
Yeah, I set a goal and
That's incredible. A lot of people, even for New Year's Eve, say they're going to lose 10 pounds, and then right after they toast each other, they say they'll wait till next year. They're not going to even try to lose the 10 pounds, But here you set your goal cross country. Or how did you get from San Diego? I mean, you were already in San Diego?
No, I took an Amtrak train from Chicago to San Diego.
Okay.
And then stayed there for a couple of days, and then I actually left from the flight deck of the USS Midway. USS Midway was a ship that was over in Yokosuka, Japan when I was stationed there. So I was actually on a tugboat.
I'm afraid to ask you anything. Oh my God, I don't know what you're going to come up with. This is
Yeah,
incredible.
I actually worked on the engines when I was in the military on a tugboat. So I used to have to pull the Midway in and out every time the ship would come in and out of port.
Wow.
So since the ship was stationed over there, it's actually a museum now. I asked if I could leave from the flight deck, and they said yes.
That's
so
terrific.
I actually started my ride from biking across the flight deck, and I had the Navy band there. So we actually started from the flight deck of the USS
No wonder
Midway.
you're not an admiral. You could be an admiral. You could be anything you want to be. My goodness sakes.
If you put your mind to it, you can do anything.
What a wonderful attribution for girls to accommodate and become what they want and do what they like and you're almost a free spirit, but you accomplish. It's not just come hither and thither or whatever. It's just you plan this out. Did you, on a map, you must have seen the terrain. You were on a train, so you saw the terrain, flat, whatever. Except you had to go through a mountain range, didn't you?
Right, there's a mountain range in San Diego, and then on Texas, there was a Texas Hill Country, which actually through the Three Twisted Sisters. I actually walked about 4 miles
Wow.
because I couldn't bike it up. So I actually walked it up. And like they said, it's, it's not physical, it's mental.
It's just,
Because, mentally, that
It's
was the aspect of it. But physically, if you can't make it, you walk it.
that's incredible.
And then you get to the top of the hill and you get back on your bike and you start biking again.
Should we know what kind of bike you have? Is it a special mountain bike or something?
No, I just have a Trek 7.3 FX. It's actually a hybrid bike, which a lot of people said would not make it.
Really?
But she actually made it. I had 2 flat tires the whole time, which was very good. But with the amount of gear that I was riding with my bike, a lot of people were like, it'll never make it. And I'm like,
Heavy.
she made it.
You carry it on your back or strap it on the bike?
I had 2 panniers on the front of my bike and 2 panniers on the back of my bike, and that's all the.
Very
Then I
cool.
had my tent going across, and then my cot going across that.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just in awe. I could sit here and just listen to you. I'm in awe, such awe. You are incredible. You are just incredible.
Yep, and you just get up and. I biked the day and get to the hotel room. The first thing was take a shower. Next thing, get something to eat, and then the next thing was grab Google Maps and see where I was going for the next day, and then map it out.
How many miles did you put on a day? And is each area different? I mean, more or less from your travel?
I was anywhere from 65 to 75 miles a day. And then I started getting about 5 ahead of schedule, so I had to cut back to like 50 to 55 miles a day. But I actually ended up 5 days ahead of schedule.
And so how long did this entire trip take?
I was gone for 61 days and 49 days biking.
Wow.
So, and then like I said, I was 5 days ahead of schedule. So when I got to the East Coast, the Vice President, Cindy, she invited me to stay with her for a couple days. Before I finished, I stayed at her house for 3 days.
I was just
Before
going to
I
ask,
finished.
what do you do to unwind after something like this? Do you just lay at the pool and, or deagle your feet in the ocean? What do you do? How do you relax?
I didn't go to the ocean because I couldn't go there yet. So I just tried to stay away. It's kind of tradition that you dip your back tires in when you leave at one ocean, and then when you finish it, you dip your front tire in
Where you go? Yeah.
in that ocean. So I kind of like stayed away from the oceans. So we just kind of went sightseeing in St. Augustine and stuff like that, and went out for dinner and just kind of relaxed and had some long talks and some cries and stuff like that.
You know, I don't know what to ask. I'm just in awe because, this is something that you would see in the movies. I would gladly go and pay to go. If you were on the screen and this was your story, boy, I would go in a flash. I know a lot of people that would go also because what you did is you did an incredible gesture of kindness, warmth, and compassion. And nobody asked you to do this. This is your own feeling from your heart that you did this.
Right.
And so I don't know how, what else to say except I'm in awe. I'm in absolute awe, as anybody else would be. You set your mind to do this, and you were able to do that.
Right. I mean, and I'm going to do it again.
Oh, see,
You
there
know?
you go.
Like I told you when I first came in, I think I found my calling, and as long as I can continue to cycle, I'm going to cycle for my brothers and sisters.
That's good.
It's my way of giving back, and a lot of my veterans that they need it.
Yeah.
They need our help. They need my help.
Yep.
And if this is how I can do it, then this is how I'm going to give back to them through my cycling.
That's terrific. That's terrific. You couldn't find a buddy that would buddy up with you? Who else would want to do this? Good God in heaven.
Like I said, I met a couple cyclists going across. We kind of played leapfrog, going across the United States. I met a bunch of people going across and stuff like that. I've met a bunch of wonderful people. I've had a hard time lately with Hurricane Michael.
Oh,
going through, because I spent so much time down in the Panhandle as I cycled through. So keep your prayers on everybody down in the Panhandle.
sure.
They really need a lot of prayers and help down there
A lot of help.
right now. So a lot of wonderful people down there. But nope, going to do it again.
I was going to say, are you retired? How could you be retired? From what could you possibly be retired? And to give all this time that you're an effort that you.
I do consulting work. So with
and
my
how to ride across America.
no,
Evidently.
with my consulting work, I'm able to pick up contracts for 9 months to a year and a half, and then pick up another consulting role for another 6 months to 9
That's
months
all
or
right.
whatever,
That's good.
and stuff like that. I am also in the process of writing a book about my journey going across.
Absolutely.
So that'll be coming out. My blog is out there on my website.
Busy lady.
With that as well.
They could do a TV program about you. I mean, a series would be good,
And stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, think big. Think big. What have you got to lose? Nothing, and everything to gain.
Correct.
Think big. Think big.
I think it's April 12th that there's an insert with my my one attack that I had on the side of the road.
Oh my.
You'd enjoy reading that one.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we should. Is it okay if I mention?
Go ahead.
I didn't want to say anything unless I get your permission. Tracy had a seizure, and in Texas. Was it Texas that you? Where was it?
I actually had 16 seizures going across, but the one that you're referring to that we talked about was actually in Arizona.
Arizona, with snakes.
Yep, with
Snakes
rattlesnakes, yes.
They've got scorpions there too in Arizona. Those.
Yeah, I was thinking about them too, but not as much. You can't hear them on the side of the road.
We have friends that have family there, and they say you have to check your shoes every morning, knock it out, because if you put your foot in and you get a surprise,
right,
you're going to be very unhappy with a surprise like that.
Right.
Oh my goodness sakes! And did you have a brain tumor? Is that what you?
But I have a brain tumor, epilepsy, and asthma.
An asthma. Mm-hmm. And an owie on your foot. You have an owie.
I have an owie on my foot.
You have an owie. You're really the most effervescent guest that we've ever had, and so determined. I mean, really. A lot of people say, well, we're going to think about maybe doing something or whatever, but as a Navy vet, and we've done a lot of programs with veterans, and Miss Angela Walker, I mean, she brings me these most wonderful people, painters, artists, photographers, guitarists, singers, poem, they recite poetry, wonderful, wonderful. But they're pretty stationary. They're all around here. No one says hello and goodbye. I'm taking off and go across country. We'll see you, at the end of the year or whatever. So, but that's wonderful. And they need some help. They need some assistance. They need whatever caring you can do for them. Two of my three sons are military combat vets. They were in Iraq, and David was in David was in Guatemala and Egypt right after 9/11. They shipped him out, and he military police standing guard over the embassy. Our embassy is over there. We didn't know what to expect. David, everybody was lining up to go. They wanted to go. And my husband's a Navy Air Force vet, so. Military is not. My two older brothers were Navy vets, and my uncle was Army vet, and but my son Randy, who was in the Seabees, the Navy gets the best food, and David gets he said, he says the Navy gets the best food, and the Army gets all these MRIs. This is incredible. We don't want to eat that stuff anymore. So,
Right.
But they saw a lot of action, and I think one in one of Randy's compatriots was in the car, the Jeep exploded, and that set him back. That's very hard to see. She was the only parent and left an orphan child. It was
Correct.
so hard, so hard. And here he was having missiles coming in his trailer. They were. He was putting down the tarmac for the planes to come in, and so they worked, their shift, their hours, 12 hours or whatever, and he went to get out of the heat and the sand. He was wearing because of the sand lice.
Right.
They had to wear the dog collars around their ankles for the fleas, the sand fleas. And a mortar shell came into the bunk next to him. That didn't explode, but that's enough to make you think a couple of times.
Correct.
So, how much life is really worth? What am I doing here? I'm an American. What am I doing in Iraq? But I mean, we thought his dealings were, unbelievable what was going on there. But you're here in America and you are doing these incredible acts of feat of selflessness. Just incredible. Just incredible. What kind of clothes do you take on a trip like this? I mean, you're going through different areas with different weather predictors. What do you do?
Pretty much had t-shirts, one t-shirt, one long sleeve shirt, my biking gear, and pretty much a couple pairs of shorts. That's about it.
Really?
Because you don't have too much room to pack anything.
Well, and I was going to say, what as far as your clothes, I mean, how do you launder them, or what do you do? How do you?
It was usually about every 3 days I'd stop at a hotel that had laundry facilities.
I mean, do you give yourself a break when you do? Do you say, I'm going to do so many miles today and I'm not going to go any further? So this day I'm going to do laundry and whatever else.
Right. What I do is usually I'd have my ending town where I was going to end up at night that night.
Oh, okay.
And then I wouldn't go any farther. And then once I got there, I'd go to the hotel.
How much sleep do you require? What do you give yourself to sleep?
I was actually sleeping a lot. I think I'd be in bed like about 9 o'clock at night, and I'd wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. But a lot of it was tossing and turning. I don't think I ever got like a full night's sleep.
Well, what do? Do you have to pre-program yourself to what route? What if the road is closed? What if you don't know what you're coming into?
No, you don't know what you're coming into. Road construction, none of that stuff. You don't know until you actually get there.
Yeah. What if they tell you have to take a detour? Then what does that do?
You just take a detour.
Take a detour. If it takes you,
if it takes another,
what do you do?
You have no
then?
choice. You have
That's
no choice but to
incredible.
take a detour.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And stuff like that.
Any road crews? Hey, lady, you got to be out of your mind. Where do you come from? Oh, I just come from around. I'm just going cross country.
I had a bunch of people telling me that I was crazy.
Really?
And stuff like that, asking me what I was doing. I was, telling them I was going cross country on my bicycle, and, people would give me money and stuff like that. People would tell me I was nuts and I was crazy. And
you should have. You have a jacket just saying Navy vet. Could you do
You know,
that?
stuff like that. And,
You just.
you know, people give me high five. And, you know, I met one woman in, I was in New Mexico at a gas station, and she came running up to me and gave me a big hug. And we had talked for a while and stuff like that. And she's like, I always wanted to do something like this, but I never had the guts to do it.
You got it, baby.
And we talked for a while and stuff like that. And next thing I know, later on that night, I went on my Facebook page, and she had sent me a message about the great smile I had when she came running up to me
How
and stuff
nice.
like that. And she watched me the whole way across and stuff like that. And she was one of the first people I contacted when I got to St. Augustine and stuff like that. And it was just like the text messages that people were sending me that kept me going.
Keep you moving.
They're
watching you. They're watching
right,
you.
you know, and that was the one. Those were the ones that kept me going. You know, the ones that kept, you know, the days that I wanted to give up. And believe me, there were days that, you know, when I'm out in the middle of nowhere, wondering
God's world.
what the hell am I doing?
What are you doing here?
You know, 35 mile per hour side winds and nothing except, you know, dirt and wind and everything. You know, and saying I can't do this anymore. And you know, I always told my kids to give 110% no matter what you do.
Do it.
You know, and I'm like, why? You know, why do I want to give up? I'm not hurt. There's nothing wrong with me.
Do it.
You know, and I'm doing this for people
That can't.
that can't do it,
That
and I want to
can't.
give up because of why.
No, you can't. They can't. They
You know,
can't.
because I'm tired of biking. That's not an excuse.
Those are paraplegics or quadriplegic that would love to do this.
Right.
They would do
You know,
for some.
you
for
know,
their,
and it's
their,
like,
their brothers, their sisters in arms. So
you know, and it's like, you know, there was no excuse for me to give up. And, you know, I kept telling myself that and stuff like that. So, you know, and then people would send me a text message and stuff
you
like
are
that. And
one terrific lady, really, really, one
stuff
terrific
like that.
lady.
So,
That's incredible. So you were born in Illinois.
right. I was born in New Lenox.
Yeah, and I know where New Lenox is because when we were younger, 1,000 years ago, we bought a Pekingese puppy from a breeder down in New Lenox,
Okay.
and we named her Susu Cooper. Susu, and she was a little tiny Pekingese, but she went after my parakeets.
Oh.
Because the birds used to fly loose. Well, she was out in the country, hello.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to give her back because she did some really irreparable damage to the birds. So that was the end of that one. But we always had Pekingese. We went to Troy, Wisconsin to go get My Toy. My Toy was, we gave them all, as you are understanding, Chinese names, Susu, My Toy, and my brother had the litter mate of My Toy, which was Taijobo, and so the Pekingese are, you know, now we've got not a little dog anymore. We have a large dog, a little larger. He's a Belgian Malinois. He's the breed like the German Shepherd, and they're law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
They use them for law enforcement seeking, rescue or whatever. So, but he thinks he's a lap dog. You know, when you have a Pekingese, what do they weigh? 6-8 pounds. Put him on your lap. Well, he's like 112 pounds. He can't very well sit on your lap. I mean, he is the lap. So we do our best to rescue all rescue animals we care for. So I feel like I'm rescuing you because this is incredible. It's, rescuing you from the road. This is
No, I need no rescue.
and so, are you finding all of these roads, the highway going down, smooth or bumpy? Or
Oh, no. I find,
What do you find there?
I think I've hit every type of road possible.
Right.
I've heard dirt road, construction roads, bridges with no shoulders that have put me on
Holy
the road
cow.
with the cars that I apologize to the people of Florida. I tried to go faster than 4 miles per hour going up those hills, up that bridge.
Just whatever's there.
Whatever's there, you're on.
So you didn't have to cross, train tracks or train trestles or.
I actually fell on a train track in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh my! How does the bike get it? Was fishtailing or what was that?
Actually, I was leaving Phoenix and I was actually coming around and I actually fell on the trolley tracks in Mesa, Arizona. Actually torn. Well, I didn't know until I got back home when I went to University of Chicago, but I actually tore my MCL and PCL. But it'll heal.
Oh my! Oh my! You went through whatever was out there. At least with a car, you've got, 2 tons of metal and large tires to get you over where you have to go. But it's got little. Your bike has got what, the small, real fit.
Probably about like that.
So it just.
Yeah, I got ran off the road twice.
Who would do that?
Truck drivers, pickup trucks.
Truck drivers.
Yeah, I got ran off once in Florida. And I believe if it wasn't for the guy behind him that was blowing his horn, I probably would not be here.
Oh my! Why was that?
He was actually in the shoulder with me,
Ooh!
the pickup truck. And then there was actually a car behind him that was blowing his horn. And as soon as I swerved over into the grass and fell off my bike, the truck actually pulled back onto the street and went. So I do actually believe he was aiming for me.
Probably. Oh, wow.
And then the car pulled over to see if I was okay,
You're
and then
right.
he went, and he had actually told me that he had called the police. That was in Florida, and then I got ran off the road once in Texas.
Well, you carry your phone with you, but you should have another means of, GPI or whatever, to be able to track you, to see.
My family, on my GPS, on my
GPS, yeah.
Garmin, they are able to track me.
Okay.
In the morning, what I would do was I'd send a text message out to, there were 7 people on my phone that I'd send a text message, and I'd just say, I'm on the road again.
I'm here, watch me. Yeah.
And then as soon as I start my GPS, it would send them an email, and it would give them where I was at. They would be able to zoom down. I've had a couple people call me and say, "Oh, you're at Burger King eating lunch?" And I'm like, "Yep." I said, "You're tracking me, huh?" So they would zoom in on me. They're like, "Well, we
excellent.
just noticed that you were stopped for a while. We just figured we'd give you a call and see how you're doing."
Excellent. Oh my God.
So they would actually give me a call when I was stopped and stuff like that. So.
Has anyone from the entertainment capital connected with you just to say, you're doing a miraculous thing? This isn't for entertainment. This is the real thing. You're a Navy veteran. So, we're very interested in you, and we're going to help you with your foundation, with whatever you want. If we could just do your story, anything like that. Anybody connect with you?
No, I haven't heard from anybody other than the local newspapers that I've talked to.
And I'm saying to you, look at all these newspapers that she's in. This is incredible, all these newspapers. And nobody picked up the phone to
No,
connect with you.
no.
They will. Yeah, they will.
There's a lot more on my media page, on my
They will.
website and stuff like that.
They absolutely will.
When I was going across, I actually was on the news. I was actually on Channel 5 before I left here on Making a Difference.
Yeah.
And then I was on San Diego, El Paso, Phoenix, Austin, Texas, and then in St. Augustine. I was on 3 times on their media channels there.
Well, you were in Austin, I think, or maybe it's Crawford. That's where President Bush lives. You could have gone ring his doorbell. He does all these bike trails with all the vets. You could have connected with him. I mean, not a,
I'd have to go through Secret Service.
well, wouldn't be too secret if you had to go through them. I mean, they're just a service. You're the secret. But, look what you're doing. I mean, and you're one alone, and no backup. But I would imagine that the ones that are on the road, I see once in a while a biker on the road. It scares me because they're alone. There's so many cars, and you just see this one, cyclist biking alone. And do they know their way? Are they? I mean, have you got what directional signal, or what keeps you moving? What's your strategy on that? I mean,
As far as with the cars,
yeah.
I just blink them out. I can just like blink cars out of my side vision.
I mean, you don't have any earphones or plugs or
No.
whatever? So
No, I don't listen to anything.
you have to be alert, very alert.
Right, I try to be alert
Wow.
to everything. I think the whole way across, I think I listen to music twice. I have a speaker a wireless speaker. I think I listened to music twice going across.
That's incredible.
And that was one day when I was walking up the mountain
Walking
Um,
up the mountain.
where
Wow.
I was having a bad day.
Oh, just,
Yeah, it was actually that was actually on Easter.
that's a heavy load.
So I was actually having a bad day on that day. So I'm like, turn on some music and start walking.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So
wow.
kind of like just turn on the
That's
music and start
incredible.
walking up the hill.
So, another mountain range you're going to be crossing is that one of your?
Well, Pennsylvania's got some pretty good hills in it.
Ooh, I should say so. I have a cousin who lives in Pittsburgh, and I know that's steep. They say San Francisco. Oh no, it doesn't. No, Pennsylvania is really incredible. Wow. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know. What about, you have a canteen or a water bottle, or what do you take?
I have 2 water bottles that I have on my bike, and then I always carry an emergency one. I put in my back bag,
Yeah.
just in case. Stuff like that. I didn't really need it. The weather was really perfect going across. I don't think the weather was warmer than like 80 degrees.
Yeah, but you're riding a bike, so your energy is,
Right.
you know.
So I had 1 bottle of Gatorade and 1 bottle of water.
You wear goggles or sunglasses? Or a hat?
Sunglasses, my helmet, sunscreen. Put that on as soon as
Yeah, you're so very fair complected.
Yeah, I had a really nice tan when I got done.
Oh,
It's
wow.
faded a lot.
A lot of people would give their all to get a tan.
Except I look like a raccoon, so
Well,
you'd have to.
see,
One
because-
of my interviews that I did in St. Augustine, I was like,
Oh, well.
looked like a really bad raccoon,
A bad raccoon.
um,
Oh, well.
caught in the headlights.
Oh, but that's incredible that you can do this, and it's like you carry your whole wherever your life actually. You're carrying a tent and all your backpack, or whatever you need.
Right.
And you do stop during the day, so as best as you can, you still have light. Outside light.
Right. I had a stealth camp twice.
Okay.
What stealth camping is when you can't make it to where you're going. Just try to find some trees or bushes that you can put a tent up behind. So the first time I was stealth camping, I was found some trees underneath of a highway. So I found like a bunch of brush and stuff. I put my tent up back there, and really noisy. I don't think I got any sleep that night. Put the tent up back there, and then crack of dawn, get everything down and out of the way so nobody comes and starts yelling at you. So that was the first night, and then the second night I stealth camped. I was in Arizona, and put the tent up behind some trees out in the middle of right outside the dunes.
You don't know what you're going to run into
No.
in the middle of the night. I mean, you know,
But it gets too dark, you can't bike anymore, so safety comes first.
safety first, always.
So
Wow, wow. What an adventure. This is really incredible. I am, you know, living via your adventure across the country. I'm tired already. You know, we don't have much time left on the program, but I'm tired just hearing your adventure. This is just thrilling. This is thrilling. I don't know anyone who could do this and be as up and you know, wonderfully moving and able to speak on this as clearly, and it's just not somebody that you know that travels 3,000 miles across country. I mean,
on a bicycle.
on a bicycle. I mean, this is only self-motivated by your legs pushing those pedals. It's not anything electric. You don't have any
No,
no electric. It's just
No.
just a plain old bicycle
just plain old bicycle
with two
with two wheels.
with two wheels.
Here's my electric.
Incredible, just incredible. Stamina, you have plenty of stamina. Incredible. And what kind of shoes did you wear? Regular?
My biking shoes.
Oh, biking shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
I mean, and you certainly don't have to exercise to get on the bike. You're getting plenty of exercise from dawn till dusk, till, you know, whatever.
yeah, I'd be on the road from usually about 7 o'clock in the morning to usually about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Incredible. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, or where should they look now? I think we should have some of your information. There you go. Okay.
That's my website there.
Cross Country Cyclist for vets.com.
.com.
Okay. And Stacy Sefcek, incredible lady as you are. Absolutely incredible. Marvelous. Wonderful. What else do they say about you that you're doing all of this for brothers and sisters in arms? What do they know you? They have to know you. You do so much for them.
I'm a silent partner.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, after tonight, I don't know about outside, because we're on YouTube. You're going to be on YouTube, so the world's going to know you. That have you been invited by any of the states that you've crossed to represent them or be there for their grand opening of whatever? I mean, anybody? You went 3,000 miles across country.
Right, 8 states.
And nobody knows that you were coming or knew that you'd been there?
Some of the states knew
But
that
the
I was coming through.
newspapers-
Right, some of the states knew that I was coming. Some of the cities, I would contact them before I was coming in, letting them know what I was doing and when I was coming in. And we'd set up like a news camera crew there. And I'd do like a interview there and stuff like that. St. Augustine, we had a big thing there at the finish.
Wow. Wow. This is the Daily Herald. Incredible. Incredible. With all of this newspaper, I don't know what else. I'm so choked up with this because you've given so much. You've given so much to so many, and they don't even know who you are. This is incredible. But they will.
Hoping my next one will get the word out a lot more.
I can promise you they will. Well, the word is out tonight. So we're live. This isn't just a taped or whatever. We're live this evening. So if you see Tracy coming by, wave, say hello, or a donation is good, or the McDonald's, or the gift cards are even better, whatever. Tracy Sefcek is one hell of a person. Absolutely incredible. We're so happy you're on our side.
Thank you for having me. And
Oh, my pleasure. And you will be back again.
I will be back.
And give us some more information and input and what else you're doing and whatever. This is just the most incredible interview I have ever done with a cyclist, a veteran. I mean, we've got lots of veterans, and everybody wants to come and participate, and we love them all, and we invite them to come on the program. And if you're a veteran, please connect with us, and we'll have you on the program. And if you do anything as, I don't know, I have to watch my words, outlandish or as Tracy, we'd love to have you on the program. There you go. We'd love to have you on the program. And just an incredible feat of energy, excitement, and caring, definitely caring and love. There's nobody else could do this. I mean, no one else could do this. Not with the strength and energy you put into it on your behalf, Does the bicycle company know that you're doing it with this bicycle? And those tires? At least I could get 2 new tires? And how long have you had this bicycle? I didn't even ask.
I actually got my bike back in, I've had my bike for about 6 years now.
Same bike.
Yeah, same bike.
Would it be any different if you got a new one?
No, I like my bike.
Same one.
Yeah,
It's comfortable.
comfortable.
Oh, wow. You know,
It made it.
it did it.
Yeah.
Are you retiring the bike at any time?
No,
I guess if it's got,
there's nothing wrong with her.
I guess if it's got 2 wheels and you've
As
got
long as she's going, she's good.
You've got the energy to be able to pump it and just keep going.
Yep.
My goodness sakes. Goodness sakes. I want to thank you so very much for coming. I have to shake your hand.
Thank you for having me again.
Oh, my pleasure always. And listen, please, I invite you to check out Tracy on our YouTube. Our address is down here somewhere. There we go, on the YouTube. .com North Shore Live CC Cooper's Corner, and you're going to see this magnificent lady, magnificent Navy vet, and she wants to give back. We need to praise her for her wonderful work for other military veterans who are more in need than we know. Please give. I always advise you. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening. See you next week on North Shore Live, Cooper's Corner. Stay safe for Halloween. You saw the little pumpkin. We have one there. And we're just overwhelmed with the wonderfulness of Tracy. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Good evening.